Good day. Here are the stories for the Manila Times for Sunday, February 20, 2022. Brought to you by Wilkin Depot, the country's leading home improvement and construction supplies retailer. Shop conveniently 24 by 7 with a Wilkin online store. Just go to shop.wilkin.com.ph. The National Capital Region or NCR and other areas in the country may be placed under Alert Level 1 in the coming weeks as the cases of coronavirus disease 2019 or COVID-19 continue to decrease, an official of the Department of Health or DOH said on Saturday. Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergire issued a statement a day after saying that the country has overcome the worst surge of COVID-19 in 2 years caused by the highly infectious Omicron variant. In her regular segment at the Laging Handa briefing on Saturday, Vergire said that in terms of the current case situation, nearly all areas in the country can be placed under Alert Level 1 because of improved growth, hospital utilization, and attack rates per 100,000 population. She added that aside from case parameters, the vaccination rate will also be one of the main factors in determining if an area can now go into Alert Level 1. Cause-oriented and civil society groups on Saturday expressed concern over the arrest of a medical doctor who is also a human rights and indigenous people's rights activist after police raided her house in San Juan City on Friday. Dr. Maria Natividad Silva Castro, 53, was immediately taken to Butuan City en route to Bayugan City in Agusan del Sur to face a trial court that issued an arrest warrant against her for kidnapping and serious illegal detention. Police said Castro was involved in the kidnapping of a militiaman or a member of the Citizens Armed Forces Geographical Unit or CAFGU Active Auxiliary Unit in Agusan del Sur in 2018. The allegation was denied via social media by her brother identified only as June. The Commission on Elections or COMELEC is willing to revisit its implementing rules and guidelines on Operation Baklas amid public uproar on the manner it has been enforced. COMELEC spokesman James Jimenez said that the poll body was not deaf to the clamor of the public. Jimenez said among those being looked into by the poll body are the implementing rules and regulations of Republic Act or RA 9006 or the Fair Elections Act, particularly sections 22 to 29, which are used as basis by the poll body in dismantling illegal campaign posters, including oversized material posted in private properties. Under COMELEC Resolution 10488, the implementing guidelines of the Fair Elections Act, posting election propaganda outside of common poster areas, public places, or private without owner consent is unlawful during the campaign period. Violation of campaign rules is considered an election offense that carries a penalty of 1 to 6 years imprisonment, removal of the right to vote, and disqualification to hold public office. To start the ball rolling, Jimenez encouraged candidates and groups questioning how the COMELEC handled its operation to own privately owned properties to submit their position papers. Aksyon Demokratiko standard-bearer and Manila Mayor Francisco Isko Moreno Dumagoso said he is willing to give a cabinet post to fellow presidential candidate Senator Panfilo Ping Lacson, whom he described as an asset of the country. Lacson, whose term as a senator ends on June 30, is running for president under the Reforma Party. He has repeatedly said that he will retire from politics if he loses the presidential race. Pangasinan Representative Christopher De Venecia joined the PhilSCAP or Filipino Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers, IPO-PHL or Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines, and the BBC or British Broadcasting Corporation in denouncing the improper use of copyrighted materials and other IPR or intellectual property rights, contents, and work outputs during the current election campaign. De Venecia, chairman of the House Committee on Creative Industry and Performing Arts, said, "Changing the lyrics but retaining the music still constitutes a violation of IPR laws and regulation. IPR violation is stealing, plain and simple. When political campaigns, groups, and individuals fail to get authorization and licensing for any element or portion of music, video, images, graphics, or other copyrighted materials, freelancers, composers, photographers, and other creative artists who own intellectual assets suffer." Opposing candidates for the gubernatorial seat in Pangasinan Province have temporarily set aside local politics and party affiliations to support the candidacy of presidential hopeful Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. and his running mate Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio for the May 2022 elections. Re-electionist Governor Amado Espino III and his rival Ramon Gico both endorsed the tandem during the Duterte-Carpio visit to the province on Saturday, further consolidating support for the unit team candidates in the solid north. Over the business, the country's balance of payments or BOP began the year in shortfall as government continued to service its external debt, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas or BSP reported over the weekend. Despite the fact that the $102 million deficit in January was less than the $752 million shortfall a year before, a central bank record showed that it was an about face of the $991 million surplus in December 2021. It's also the highest shortfall since November of last year when payments balance position had a $123 million deficit. Topping sports is going to be another explosive Sunday in the PBA Governor's Cup as powerhouse teams Barangay Ginebra and San Miguel Beer try to get back to the win column when they collide at 6:45 p.m. at the Araneta Coliseum in Quezon City. The Gin Kings and the Beermen were recent victims of the TNT Tropang Giga who gave the two squads a sound beating. The Gin Kings received a 27-point beatdown 119-92 on Friday night, while the Beermen lost by 15 points 81-96 on Wednesday against the reigning Philippine Cup champions. Both Ginebra and San Miguel will try to get their bearings back on Sunday, but only one of them can come out victorious. Both teams will need a win to bolster their chances for a playoff berth where the top four at the end of the elimination round will be given a twice-to-beat incentive in the first round. The Beermen will need to get more production from new import, returning reinforcement Orlando Johnson, who was shackled by TNT's defense. Marlon Ronquillo is today's front-page columnist. He discusses on the issues of provincial commuters and why it is an election issue. Today's editorial believes diplomacy is always a better option in dealing with countries such as China. Read a full version on the paper's opinion section or listen to the voice of the Times. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram and keep up with the Times. For the Manila Times, this is Paulo Dumabi.